Hey everybody, welcome to a Sunday morning edition of Dog Pound Radio Short. I just wanted to touch base and talk about the craziness that is the college football playoff, as well as kind of up and coming events that will be coming up here soon. This week, a couple of news and notes. I do want to give a couple shout outs here. Coach Smith, Coach Doherty, all the coaches on the wrestling program, Coach Bentley, all of them, Ryan, Wilson, all the coaches have done an amazing job this week. There's been a lot to be proud of, when we look at Fort Madison sports and all that sort of stuff. But anyway, I did want to share some information that Coach Smith had sent us. And be sure to follow Fort Madison Bloodhound Wrestling. A little bit difficult for me to see because I've got the room set up a little bit differently tonight. But you know what? I can share it on the screen and present, which would be great. How about that? Let's see. Okay, so just kind of sharing away here. The Independence tournament was very tough, but they knew that it would be extremely tough. If you look at the individuals that competed, Coach Smith reports that we had two of the 13 individuals that are going to be in the top 8 in medals. Logan Pinnock got 5th at 132 pounds, and Nolan Riddle gets 6th at 157 pounds. I did follow them. I had to stick at home, to take care of family and that sort of stuff this weekend. But lots to be proud of when we look at that. This coming week, the wrestling team will be at Wapello. There'll be some good basketball this week as well. Some good tests. Hopefully we can get our interviews in with them. Hey Curtis, good to see you this fine morning. And also, I want to talk about this college football playoff. A little bit before, I start ranting and raving on, some things that'll be important this week if you want to be elite. But let's just talk about it. You look at the college football playoff, everyone's going to gripe. Everyone's got a gripe, basically. Number 1, Michigan. Number 2, Washington. Number 3, Texas. Number 4, Alabama. Florida State, Georgia, and Ohio State are going to be left out of the playoffs, which is a little bit crazy. And again, I'm just a guy from southeast Iowa, but if you look at the 4 best teams probably in the country right now, it's really difficult to leave out an undefeated Florida State team. I was a little bit blown away, or to not even get Ohio State, a chance as you're getting in the show, and that was a little bit crazy to me. Again, that Ohio State wasn't even mentioned. And if you look at their only loss, to Michigan, which is ranked number 1. I look at that first matchup, Alabama and Michigan, and I don't think Michigan has a chance. Wolverine fans around, again, Alabama's a team that is going to lose to Texas. I think they got that right, that Texas would be over Alabama. But I don't think that the number 1 team in the country, Harbaugh's real excited about having to go against Nick Saban. I think Nick Saban's Crimson Tide's going to win that ball game. I think Georgia would beat the number 1 ranked team, in the college football playoff. I'm not so sure that Ohio State wouldn't beat Michigan had they played again. So anyway, a little bit goofed up there. Washington, I think they got it right. Washington had an extremely tough, lingering season. If you look at the final ride of the Pac-12, Washington being able to go undefeated, to be able to defeat a team like Oregon twice is phenomenal. But they're going to play a pretty tough Texas squad, and Steve Sarkisian is changing things up in Texas. But I don't think that Texas can beat Washington. So my national championship pick is Alabama, Washington, and I think your Crimson Tide, which is probably a number 6 seed in a real world scenario, is probably going to win the whole thing. and you can argue with me and all that sort of stuff. And again, it's all kind of action oriented opinions and that sort of stuff. But man, you know, again, leaving Florida State out, even though that they had an injured quarterback, I'm a little bit butthurt over that. Also, not allowing Ohio State that their only loss was against number one Michigan. If you're really looking at apples and oranges, Ohio State not even being mentioned, with Florida State, Texas, and Alabama. It's a little bit crazy to me. But again, I I got to watch the head of the picks talk on ESPN here just a few moments ago, and you could see it in his eyes that he's like, they were almost tearing up. Which we have to understand that as human beings, that's just kind of what happens. Anytime that you're going to make a difficult decision that's going to have long-term ramifications. Now, again, apples and oranges, man. Apples and oranges. If you look at the four best teams in the country, maybe it's Michigan, Ohio State, Alabama, and Georgia. Okay, but Florida State undefeated left out. And this again has created a lot more problems. You create a two-man playoff versus a four-man playoff, and now it's going to be huge next year. I'm excited about it, but not really super excited to watch a two-team or maybe a two-loss team next year win the national title. I don't know, man. You give me your comments and kind of let me know. But had it been the old BCS format, it would have been Michigan, Washington with Florida State out. That's a little bit easier to decipher than seeing it the other way. But I do believe that they got it right with Texas. But not even mentioning Ohio State, that bothers me just a little bit. But anyway, so that's kind of what's bugging me tonight. I've got Stalemates Zach Bogle coming on. Excited to have Zach live. Not in studio, but live together. He's a former student of mine from Centerville. He's doing awesome things. We're going to talk a lot about NCAA wrestling. So if you like wrestling, if you like local legends, so to say, like Zach, that's able to jump up and he's an Iowan that's doing us proud. Be sure to tune in at 8 p.m. My last mention, and I'm going to mention this forever. Okay. I saw a former student, Dylan, at Walmart last night and got a picture with him. Give a thumbs up to that. He's doing a great job. He was a kid that worked hard in school, but didn't necessarily like it, like a lot of them, right? But he's doing some great jobs. And what I want to do is I want to give a shout out to all my former students and athletes from all 5-6 schools that I've either coached at or taught at, and remember, you'll always be my students and athletes, and I love y'all. And for whatever reason, a lot of people think that just because you switch jobs, you then you disassociate. I've never disassociated any of my students or athletes in my entire life, and I love them all. And so many of them are doing so many great things. Mikey England, the maniac, he won Friday night, giving him a shot at the UFC. It's exciting, to see those things happen, and just being able to be around a lot of elite dogs, that dog mentality, it's phenomenal. And it's like I don't know, man. It's like getting a shot of testosterone on a daily basis. Where you have that extreme excitement and passion to be around such an elite brand of people. And remember, birds of a feather flock together. If you can find your group that are going to hold you accountable, that you can have difficult conversations with, that you're not going to get butthurt if they if they give you some advice, you're going to do great things. If you're single-minded, if you're stuck in a rut, if you're in a situation where you don't feel valued, then if you don't take yourself out of that situation, then at that point, it's the opposite, right? It's the 99% that's going to grab you and fight for scraps as the 1% try to improve and become elite. And again, I fostered this question: do you want to be mediocre? Do you want to be just good enough, or do you want to be elite? Do you want to have that dog mentality? And I've been able to finish my book. I'm going to do kind of a first edition. I'm going to sell those first editions to see how they go, and then if we have to revamp, we'll revamp. But this new book it's exhilarating in terms of being able to share a way to get out of a rut. My first book that I released this year, Life of an Overthinker, man. If you're an overthinker, you're having a hard time and you want to get out of that overthinking rut and become a better you, that's a book for you. I'm a poet and didn't even know it. I kind of laughed there. But this new book, man, it's from the soul. It might be the best stuff that I've ever written, but I say that for every book. So, not to toot my own horn, but to finally get over that mediocre intent, to finally get over that hum of just good enough or that sort of stuff, and embracing failure, because too often we're so worried about failure that we don't take that jump in our realm of thinking. I'm done with that. I'm going to go forward, and you know what? Every time that I fail, I'm going to be able to slap 1% to get 1% better each day, and take those lumps from those failures in order to achieve greatness. And ultimately, what I want to do is I want to make the world a better place. So how do I do that? I use my framework. I use my mentality. I lead by example. I do those things, and that doesn't mean that I'm not going to have bad days, because I have a lot of bad days, folks. It's the ability to get up from the cesspool that's trying to drag you down and pull you in a different direction than you need to go in your own personal development. That's the issue. And I think that's what it's really all about. It's all of our own stories and our own experiences that have led us to this point. But if we're not trying to make a betterment in society or make the world a better place, then we're doing it wrong. We're not doing enough, and we're not doing life justice, because we all have these perfect realities within us, and these we all have gifts from God that we got to use. And if you're not using your gifts in your passions to make things more positive, and you're always trying to be drawn back to the negatives and the naysayers, I say BS. I'm going to call BS there, because we all have the ability to drive in a positive society if we all just dig in. And again, my goal is to make the world a better place. Period. Now I know that's huge, right? But I've broken that down to three facets. You can either be mediocre, you can either be just good enough, or you can be elite. And damn it, it's time to turn over the elite dog mentality. Tune in tonight, 8 p.m. I can't wait to speak to a former student that's doing great things, and an Iowan who's doing us all proud, Zach Bogle. Hope everyone has an amazing rest of your Sunday. And again, Florida State, Ohio State, I think you got screwed. I'm out.